past few years, collective research has debunked the popular myths that a high-fiber diet lifestyle can cause unfinished housework, late dinners, and neglected family members. In fact, continuing studies show that a high-fiber diet lifestyle may significantly improve the disposition of a crafter, creating a more contented home life. Furthermore, continued exposure can develop an ability to endure meetings, waiting rooms, school functions, and sporting events without experiencing the kind of boredom it makes one want to consume lead paint. Here are just a few ways one can properly increase daily fiber intake. Visit your local yarn store or shop online. Join online fiber communities. Tour sheep or alpaca farms. Attend fiber festivals. Or listen to the High Fiber Diet podcast. Please remember to spread your fiber intake throughout the day rather than trying to get it all in one shot. Stretching and resting is important, and your body will thank you.
Hi, this is Kagi, and welcome to the High Fiber Diet. I'm coming to you from Grand Haven, Michigan, and I don't number my episodes. I have no idea how many we've done. I have a finished object, which I'm wearing. I'll talk about in a minute. And then I have some works in progress, some frogging, and some washing up to do. So join me. Welcome to those who are here for the first time, and welcome back to those returning. Yeah, it is the end of May, and 2 in May. Wow, yeah, it happens. This is my finished Salty Days. And I did it as a summer Salty Days. So the changes I made were, the neckline is supposed to be ribbed up and folded over. It's supposed to be long sleeves. There's supposed to be a diamond motif down by the bottom, and the bottom is supposed to be different than what I did. So let me stand up. Here is what it looks like. I did a short 2.5 inch split on the sides. The back is just a little bit higher in the back, but did it by pattern. The only thing I changed was the arms and the very bottom and the neckline. So I did knit this out of Nifty Cotton, which is by Cascade Yarns, and I had 7 skeins, and I had this much left out of one and a full skein left, so this took me 6 skeins. And what I'm going to do with the leftovers, this is number 309, which is the cilantro colorway. Excuse me, I have the hiccups. Very light green tone to it, maybe a sagey green, more of a beige with gray than I would say green. Did not care for this cabling, and if I were to do it again, I would change that out. Do like the diamonds. I did have to mark them just because I mark when I do lace repeats. I used a size 8 needle. This is considered a worsted weight, but it's very light. And this is machine wash cold, tumble dry low, 100% cotton, 185 yards per 100 gram, which is 3.5 ounces. I would knit with this again. In fact, I'm going to use these leftovers, and I have 2 skeins of the plain beige, and I have a coworker that is getting married, and I'm going to do up washcloths and coasters for their new place. And again, 2 skeins there, but I'm very happy with how this came out. I did soak it and wash it by hand, and then I ran it through the washing machine to spin it out in a laundry bag. And when it came out, it was pretty much dry. I did not put it in the dryer because I don't want it ended up looking like a washcloth, because this is just cotton. Instead, I put it on my woolly board. If you don't know what a woolly board is, part of what I'm talking about today is getting your knits transitioned from winter spring wear to the closet put away for summer. And one of the things you do is you wash and block all your knits before you put them away, because you put them away clean, and that way you don't get bugs. Well, this is by, I think it's Secadora, Secadora. And this is a traveling woolly board. When I first bought it, I thought, okay, I'll be able to use this and put it in my bathroom. But when you put the arms on this one, I got the long one for long sleeves, it's too long to go in the bathroom, so I hang it in my hallway on the door frame. And I mean, it's not heavy and dripping wet. The sweaters are put up. The sleeves go here. I'll put up a picture, I think, if I can do so. And it will do the long sleeve or it will do a short sleeve. And I want to order the short sleeve one so that I'll have a shorter one that I'd be able to use in the bathroom. But this came in a set of 2 for $20 off Etsy. I don't know if I can put a link in, but I'll try. If not, just look up Woolly, WOOLLY board. And you're gonna see one that is stand like a mannequin and stuff like that. This one is the one I like because it doesn't take up extra room. This fits right in the closet. I can hang it on the closet door and it stays in there until I'm ready to wash again. So this is turnable, so however you're hanging it, it's able to be hung. And it allows for gravity to block your piece. So you put it out, you push your sleeves to where you want them, and then you just let it hang until it's dry. This is 100% cotton, and it dried in about 8 hours, just hanging in my hallway. Yeah, it was quick and easy, and I recommend this. This was so easy to use. You saw me pop it off, put it in where it's supposed to go to hang it, and then put it away for storage. It's all right there. So easy peasy. Let's see if I can do it without making it fall over. There we go. So this was my only finished object, and I have plans with the leftovers. If I were to do a long sleeve, I would have used all of the cilantro that I had. And originally when I bought this, I was going to do cuffs and hems in the plain and do the cilantro. And I was going to do a cardigan. So I knew it wouldn't take all of it for this sweater, but I'm glad I have it to be able to make something else with. And of course, I'm keeping this in my Fruit Bottom Gals bag that I talked about last time. What else do I have going? I started is it Drachenfels? Kind of like that. Let's see, I think I have a color picture. Maybe. Or at least a bigger picture. Color picture. Okay. And this is by Melanie Berg. And I am doing it in Mountain Meadow Wool in Cody, in Russet, Natural, and Denim. So the 3 colors. This is a 2-ply sport that is super, super squishy. All of the wool is grown in Wyoming. And this was a kit that I got many moons ago. I don't know how long ago. It came in a bag from Mountain Meadow Wool. And last night I started it. I think most of the patterns that I've seen, or most of the finished objects that I've seen, start with the denim. And I didn't want the denim to be the start point because I want the denim to be more on the long point, the long edge, because it's done triangular. So I started with the red. The next color in will be the white, and then it continues on with stripes and all sorts of things, and then I will factor in the blue and have a red, white, and blue Drachenfell. I think that's how you say it. And so that is just started. That is on a size 6. I'm using my Night and Day needles for that. Those are from Knitter's Pride. And I have just started it. I want to be able to work on it over the holiday weekend, along with other things that I'm working on. And eventually, like I have other Afghans that I'm not showing right now that I have worked on in the last week, and put a square here or a square there or a stripe here, and they're just not at the point where I'm going to bring them in and talk about them. This is being held in my Cozy Sky bag, Cozy Sky Company, and Elizabeth has started her own podcast. So if you haven't seen her podcast yet, her YouTube channel, check her out. It's really fun to watch her. She's, I think, originally from Michigan and moved down to Texas for work and such like that, and is living down there with her mom and having a good old time. She used to be part of, oh, I forget the name of the podcast that she was on before. That's horrible, but it's the truth. It was along with Mel and Carrie, but I can't remember the podcast name. I'm sorry. But this is my Sailing Nomies bag. It has one, and this is perfect in the car. I can hook it on the trash bag hook that's in the car and just have it to where I can knit out of it. And I love it. So very nautical, very nice. I like it. So that's one of my projects. The next project is a set of stabby opal socks. I am on the heel, so I'm doing the heel flap, which is a slip stitch heel flap. And then I'll pick up gussets. On this one, I did the gussets under the foot. So I gusseted down the side of the heel instead of the ankle part. And it does give a little bulge, but when you put it on your foot, it cups your heel very nicely. And, or at least it does mine. And so I am off to the races on these. And I should have these done in the next week or two. Should. This is held in my Stitch by Jessalou bag. This is the squirrels. I adore this bag. It normally holds socks for me. I also have the Molly shawl going. Done a little bit more on it. This is being held in my Thank God for Bags bag. That is what happens at a knitting retreat stays at a knitting retreat. And I have still to get into the green. It's just gotten to the hint of green. And this Molly shawl is coming along nicely. It will continue on, I think, 2 more full repeats if I have the yarn for it, but I think I will. And yeah, very simple. This is more or less 2 clusters and chains, just double crochets through here with a chain 1 on the open work. And I think it's coming out nicely. This is done in a mill end alpaca. I don't remember where I got it from. And I am doing it up on a 3.5 hook. I may work on some on this tonight. Not sure. Crochet I don't normally take out and about with me, not because I can't do it out and about, but because I know there's charts and things I need to look at, and it's just easier to take something that's stockinette. My car knitting these days is this Opal Beauty, and this is Beauty Wellness in the Isbad. I'm not sure what that means, but the colorway, and I have just done the heel. Ooh, I lost some stitches. Let's put those back on there. And I lost stitches on that side too. I just will be gentle, very gentle. So I'm at the point of doing the gussets down, and this is a standard gusset. And self-patterning like normal with Opal socks. I have this in my Queen Bee bag. And finally, for what I'm actually knitting on is the Electra cardigan. I've gotten a bit more done on this. Let's see. I have whip stitched down the collar so I don't have to worry about it moving. And I have finished one sleeve. And I started with a contiguous sleeve up here, and then at the halfway point I brought it down. So how does it fit? Of course it's not blocked, but it's smooth and nice. It's not something that's gonna pucker. It is a little bit big. I wanted it that way. This is going to stretch out to about right there. And the other sleeve is going, I am on the contiguous part back and forth still. So this is working up the cap before I work down the sleeve. This has, how do I put it? It is the pattern, but it isn't the pattern because the pattern is done front panel, back panels, sleeves separate, knit from the bottom up, and I've completely figured it out for top down, and that's just how I decided to knit on it. So if you do the Electra cardigan, because I'm getting a lot of comments on Instagram on it and in my direct messages, what I've done is not per the pattern. I've changed it to the way I prefer to knit. It's like I see some of these sweaters and they're gorgeous and they're bottom up. I don't care to knit bottom up. I will on occasion, but for the most part, I like knitting top down. And at this point in my life, I knit what I want, and I'll follow the pattern if I want. So this is kept in my Emma ball bag, and that I think is it for what I'm actually working on. I do have this sock yarn. I think it's a 80/20 DK weight set up for another pair of socks. I have my, I think these are knit picks. Needles ready to go on a size 3. And for the most part this week though, even though I've been working on several things here, what I've been thinking about is, what do I have going that I no longer want to work on? I started because I started, but I don't want to finish. So, in my Knitting in the Mitten bag from 2014, I have my Veronica sweater done up in Malabrigo. And I'm only that far in. I don't want to knit on it. It has been sitting there for months. And as I'm finding things in my office and I'm digging out my whips, I'm going to be frogging a lot of what I have on the needles. I got to thinking about it, and why do I keep showing works in progress, works in progress, works in progress that I am not progressing on? And no. So I'm taking this off the needle right now, and I have my ball winder right here. I'm not going to do that on camera, but I do know that I have stitch markers that need to come off and be set aside. I am finding that I'm feeling a lot of guilt over projects that are just sitting. Now, I'll never be monogamous. Don't get me wrong. I have to have several things because it's, ooh, what do I feel like working on? That's me. But I'm not going to work on something for the sake of working on something if I don't feel like I'm going to use it at the end. And after really taking a look at this Veronica sweater, it is gorgeous. I am not mad that I bought the pattern. I just don't think I'll wear it. It's a giant shrug, and I don't think I'm going to wear it. So it's going to get ripped out. I have enough yarn here to do another kind of sweater. It is DK weight, and that's what I'm going to do. You can see a bunch of needles here that I've already done that to. So this sweater that was by Knititude, I am not going to make the cardigan. I think I am going to make the tunnel neck sweater because I adore wearing that. I have a black one, and I think I will adore wearing this as a big cowl neck sweater. And so I have taken off most of it. I had knit up that much, and I still have this much to pull out, but it is now frogged. And this bag is empty. I have also frogged my On the Way from Brighton, or On the Way to Brighton, I'm not sure. That got frogged. I wasn't gonna wear all that funky fringe. I looked at it and no. So I gotta be honest with myself and honest with my knitting. So my Pink Panther is now empty, and that is frogged. I also pulled out that lace shawl that I was working on with this Briar Rose. I was mad at the Briar Rose. I wanted to just, okay, I'm gonna make something else out of it. I don't know what I'm going to make out of it, but it's not going to be a wide lace shawl. So that has been frogged. Everything's gonna go into this bag because it's easy to transport and then move into the other room. So other than really thinking about all my projects and where I'm going with it, I'm trying to be truthful in what I might wear. And some of my sweaters that are in the bedroom in totes, I have those are they 18 quarts or something like that, totes that are, you know, yay big, clear. And I have them stacked in there. And I didn't touch them at all this winter. It's just not what I'm going to wear. Or they're too small for me because I've gained weight, and now that I'm back on my bariatric diet, maybe I'll start losing weight. So I'm going to put the smaller ones into one tote, and if they don't get worn next year, they're gone. The ones that fit me now that didn't get worn, they're gone. And the ones that fit me now and I like, now I'm washing everything first if I've worn it, but it needs to be packed away, cleaned up, packed away, and put away for the next season. So I showed you the woolly board. How do I wash and soak? So socks and things like that normally go through my washing machine because I believe that I like using my washing machine and they're supposed to be washable, so I do. But I do hang dry them. And I have this little guy. I originally got my octopus from IKEA, and then that one broke in the move, and I have two more that I've just bought off Amazon. It does have a grippy on here, so it's great for putting bras over too. And then you have the clips for socks, stockings, anything that's hand washable that are little. And this hangs in my laundry room above my washer, and there's enough room for about this much, so about a foot of space that I can put things on and just have it there, and they'll dry overnight and then they get put away. It does condense down for putting away, but he just hangs out on my rod in my laundry room, and he gets used all the time. I do use soak wash. This one is fig scent. I love this scent. I also have one that is pineapple scent, and I have one that is unscented. And my wash bin that I use more than I don't, sometimes I'll just use, like for bigger sweaters, I'll use the bathtub, but then I need some place to cart them to the washing machine because I use a laundry bag, put everything in a laundry bag. And I have laundry bags that are huge and I have laundry bags that are small, so it just depends. And they go through a spin and drain cycle. But this is from Coghlan's, and I think I bought this at like Farm and Fleet. And it is a collapsible wash bin. I think it's for doing dishes while you're camping. And I want to say it less than 20 bucks. But it pops open and it's silicone, and it'll hold super hot water, or it will hold, you know, a big sweater will fit in here when it's all wet and put in, so that I can just dump it into the wash basin. My washing machine is the kind that I can pull out the agitator or put it in depending on what I'm doing. Most of the time with my laundry bags, I take out the agitator and just let it spin out. I don't wash them in the washing machine, but I do spin dry them in my washing machine. I soak and wash in this. And it's that time of year that, you know, sometimes you want to keep out a couple of the cardigans, or you want your summer sweaters. This is a worsted weight, but it's light enough that here at the lakeside, in the evenings, I might throw this on over a tank top. Right now I'm wearing it over a tank top. So this is one that I'm going to keep out all season. I have a couple others, my ranunculus and a couple others like that that are light, that can be thrown on over with a pair of jeans. And, you know, if we're out and about, I can keep them in the car. I also have cardigans that I'll do that with. But for the most part, my heavy winter sweaters are getting washed this weekend and getting put away this next week. And so I'm closing down the winter season here. Yeah, I think that's it. It's been a quick one, less than a half hour. And I know that I want to bring you before Tour de Fleece a cleaning of the wheels video. I haven't done that in a while, and I want to record me cleaning my wheel. If you have any questions about spinning wheels or Tour de Fleece or spinning or anything like that, drop them in the comments down below and I will take a look at them. And next time I record, it'll probably be focused more on spinning than it will be on knitting, unless I have a few finished objects. But as you can see, I'm getting rid of a lot of what I've been working on. I might finish the electric cardigan in time, and maybe a pair of socks. But other than that, yeah, do you seasonally knit, or do you take it off for the summer? I know I pull out my wheel more in the summer, unless it's hot and humid, but here inside, I also am one that I pull out my big Afghans in the summer because I have the AC going. So if the air conditioner's going, I can have the big blankets on me and not be too hot working on them. In the wintertime, of course, I want the blankets to just be there and keep me warm. So yeah, until next time, check your checkbook before starting the high fiber diet. Bye-bye.